What's up, Wrestling Zone 1 family? Welcome back to the channel that brings you the most in-depth breakdowns, hottest takes, and comprehensive coverage of all things wrestling. Last night on NXT, we witnessed something truly special, a 6-woman tag team match that had everything you could want from professional wrestling. In one corner, we had the powerhouse trio of Rhea Ripley, Lola Vice, and Stephanie Vaquer. In the opposite corner, the cunning and ruthless Fatal Influence consisting of Fallon Henley, Jacy Jayne, and Jazmyn Nyx. This wasn't just a match, folks, this was a statement, a declaration of war, and a showcase of the incredible depth of talent in NXT's women's division. But before we break down every devastating move, every near fall, and every jaw-dropping moment from this instant classic, let me ask you something. What did you think of this match? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more content like this. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this match, we need to understand the story that brought these 6 incredible athletes together. Fatal Influence has been running roughshod over NXT's women's division for months, using their numbers advantage and underhand tactics to maintain their stranglehold on power. They've made enemies of nearly everyone in the locker room, but it takes a special kind of courage to stand up to a group this dominant. Enter Rhea Ripley, the former women's world champion who returned to NXT with unfinished business. Mommy didn't come back to play games, she came back to restore order and show these young superstars what it means to be truly dominant. When she aligned herself with the hard-hitting Lola Vice and the technically gifted Stephanie Vaquer, it was clear that Fatal Influence had finally met their match. The tension had been building for weeks through backstage confrontations, interference in matches, and social media wars that had the WWE Universe on the edge of their seats. This match was inevitable, and when it was finally announced, everyone knew we were in for something special. Looking at this match on paper, you had to appreciate the contrasting styles and personalities. On Team Ripley's side, you have 3 distinct but complementary wrestlers. Rhea Ripley brings that dominant, aggressive style that made her a multiple-time champion. Her presence alone changes the dynamic of any match. Lola Vice represents that MMA-influenced, hard-hitting approach that's becoming increasingly popular in modern wrestling. And Stephanie Vaquer? She's pure technical excellence, with a moveset that's as beautiful as it is devastating. Fatal Influence, meanwhile, represents everything that's wrong with wrestling when taken to its logical extreme. Fallon Henley has evolved from the girl next door into a calculating manipulator. Jacy Jayne continues to prove that she's one of the most underrated performers in all of WWE, with an ability to generate heat that's absolutely incredible. And Jazmyn Nyx? She's the wild card, unpredictable, athletic, and absolutely fearless. The question going into this match wasn't just who would win, but how much damage would be done in the process. From the moment these 6 women stepped through those ropes, you could feel the electricity in the Capitol Wrestling Center. The crowd was absolutely electric, and both teams fed off that energy immediately. The match started with Stephanie Vaquer and Jacy Jayne, and let me tell you, these two set the tone perfectly. Vaquer's technical prowess was on full display as she controlled the early exchanges with some beautiful chain wrestling. But Jayne showed why she's such a valuable member of Fatal Influence by using her cunning to turn the tide, targeting Vaquer's arm with surgical precision. What made this opening sequence so compelling was how it showcased the fundamental difference between these two teams. Vaquer was wrestling to prove she belonged on this stage, while Jayne was wrestling to destroy her opponent's confidence. It was a masterclass in storytelling through action. The first major shift came when Lola Vice tagged in, and the entire atmosphere changed. Vice brings an intensity that's unmatched, and when she started throwing those devastating strikes, you could see Fatal Influence's confidence begin to waver. Her spinning heel kick to Jazmyn Nyx was absolutely picture-perfect, and it gave Team Ripley their first real momentum of the match. But here's where Fatal Influence showed why they've been so successful. They are masters of disruption. Just when it looked like Vice was building unstoppable momentum, Fallon Henley created a distraction that allowed her team to regain control. The way they isolated Vice in their corner and began systematically breaking her down was textbook heel psychology. And then Rhea Ripley tagged in, and the entire match changed. I've been watching wrestling for years, and there are certain moments that remind you why you fell in love with this art form in the first place. Ripley's entrance into this match was one of those moments. The way she cleaned house, the authority with which she moved, the sheer physical presence, it was everything that makes professional wrestling magical. Her sequence with all 3 members of Fatal Influence was absolutely incredible. The short arm clothesline to Henley, the headbutt to Jayne, the spinebuster to Nyx, each move was delivered with such impact and precision that you could feel it through your screen. This wasn't just wrestling, this was a statement. But what impressed me most about Ripley in this match wasn't just her physical dominance, it was her leadership. You could see her communicating with her partners, positioning herself to make the crucial saves, and always being exactly where she needed to be. That's the difference between a good wrestler and a great one, and Ripley is absolutely great. The crowd's reaction to everything Ripley did was absolutely deafening. Every move got a massive pop, every near fall had people on their feet, and when she hit that devastating riptide, the entire building exploded. It was one of those wrestling moments that gives you chills. But let's give credit where credit is due. Fatal Influence refused to stay down. This is what separates good heel factions from great ones. When faced with overwhelming odds, they didn't crumble, they adapted. The way they used their numbers advantage was brilliant wrestling psychology. Every time one of their opponents built momentum, another member would create a distraction or interference. It wasn't just cheating for the sake of cheating, it was strategic, purposeful, and effective. Jazmyn Nyx, in particular, showed incredible resilience in this match. She took some absolutely brutal punishment, especially from Lola Vice's strikes, but she kept coming back for more. Her athleticism allowed her to hit some spectacular moves, including that incredible springboard crossbody that nearly picked up the victory. Jacy Jayne continued to prove why she's one of the most complete performers in NXT. Her ability to generate heat, her technical skills, and her timing are all top-notch. The way she transitioned from defensive wrestling to aggressive offense kept the match's pace perfectly balanced. And Fallon Henley, she showed why she's the leader of this group. Her ring awareness, her ability to coordinate her team's strategy, and her willingness to do whatever it takes to win made her the perfect anchor for Fatal Influence's performance. The final 5 minutes of this match were absolutely incredible. Both teams were throwing everything they had at each other, and the near falls were coming fast and furious. You had moments where you genuinely couldn't predict the outcome. The finish came after a sequence that showcased every woman's signature style. Vaquer hit a beautiful suplex, Vice landed a devastating strike combination, and Ripley set up for the riptide. But Fatal Influence's numbers game finally paid off when they managed to isolate Stephanie Vaquer and hit their devastating triple team finisher. The way this match ended was perfect storytelling. It showed that sometimes, despite having superior individual talent, numbers and strategy can overcome raw ability. Fatal Influence didn't win because they were better wrestlers, they won because they were smarter wrestlers. This match was everything that makes NXT special. You had incredible athleticism, compelling storytelling, perfect psychology, and performances that reminded you why these women are among the best in the world. For Wrestling Zone 1, this match gets a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. It wasn't quite perfect, there were a few timing issues in the middle portion, but it was damn close. Every woman involved elevated their game, and the result was a match that will be talked about for months to come. What did this match mean for the future? Fatal Influence proved they are still the dominant force in NXT's women's division, but they also showed they can be pushed to their absolute limits. Rhea Ripley reminded everyone why she's one of the most dangerous women in all of WWE, and both Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquer proved they belong on this stage with the very best. That's going to wrap up our breakdown of this incredible match. What did you think? Did Fatal Influence deserve the victory, or should Team Ripley have walked away with the win? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Zone 1 for more in-depth analysis, match reviews, and everything else happening in the world of professional wrestling. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Until next time, keep watching, keep analyzing, and remember, wrestling is at its best when we're all talking about it together. This has been Wrestling Zone 1, and I'll see you in the next video.